Hey y'all, how's everybody? How are y'all? Let me see. I don't know what that is. It's going to share it with y'all, I guess. Oh, yes, that little new streaming thing they want you to share. So I shared it. How is everybody? Let me go and chat and see where we're at. Can y'all hear me okay? Let's see. Let me start up here at the top. Appalachia Skies, thank you for being here. Miss Sweet Eve. I love your videos, Appalachia Skies. They're beautiful. Southern Soul, True Crime. Hello, my friend Megan. How are you? Sweet Eve. Who else do we have? Miss Eve dropping them links. Thank you, Miss Eve. Miss Smith, good evening. How are you? Fancy seeing you here. Miss Lawson, hi, Sue. Angie's Life, hello. Hello. Let me get my computer. Mandy said she'll be up in just a minute, putting her grandbaby to sleep. There she is in chat. Did y'all say y'all could hear me okay? You can? Okay. Thank you, thank you. So Miss Eve has been dropping links in here. So if you have a channel and you're a mod, you're welcome to drop your chat. Tell Miss Eve or Mandy, Spirit Seeker Squad, or Appalachia Skies, any of the ones you see that are mods, let them know if you're not and you have a channel and they'll drop it for you. They will drop it for you. All right, if it don't quit dropping that stupid link. Okay, I'm not sharing it no more. It keeps asking me to share it. I'm not going to share it more. So how has everyone's week been this week? It's Wednesday. It feels like Friday. Hey, Patty Ponytail. Nice to see you. Has it been good? At least it's not raining and our yard is drying up. We got was it Saturday that it stormed? Friday, Saturday. We got like 3 inches of rain one day, 1.5 inches rain the next day. We've had so much rain. Long it's been a long week. Yeah, I don't know that stupid thing. It keeps saying share your link, and I keep saying no, and then it drops it anyway. I don't know what that stupid thing is. It's for StreamYard. I don't know. But I feel, if I share it, then they can't say, you're not sharing the link. And so I share it. Long. It's been long, Mandy, long. It's been a long, couple of weeks with the weather because electricity we've lost power. It's been raining. We've had tornadoes. It's just been crappy. Weather sucks. We got about 4 inches of snow. Wow. Yay. And then it's wet afterwards because it all melts, huh? So it's but that's cold though. Well, it was like 80 degrees, like 80 degrees for like 2 or 3 days. And then we had all this bad weather and we got tornadoes. And then it was like 40 degrees. So for like 3 or 4 days, it's been 40 degrees. Now it's supposed to be back into the 70s and 80s. I'm like, okay. You're right. They should be dropping all the links for us, Mandy, as much as we pay for StreamYard. Yes. And they went up. So, I mean, they keep going up and won't be able to afford StreamYard. Lord. I don't know if everybody feels the way me and Mandy do, but Mandy, you'll see this thing in your StreamYard too, this new streaming thing. They'll ask you to drop it too. We had that whitish today. Oh. We started with 60, now it's 30. I know, that's crazy. Makes everybody sick too. And we already had pollen falling. We've already got pollen falling, and then the tornadoes come through, and the straight line winds came through, and all the rain, and then it went back to 40s. And now, I mean, I'm just like, make my mind up, because you can't put your sweaters up, and you can't get your short sleeves out for very long. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, more new stuff to learn. Yep. And I just learned this. I just learned how to do this, and now they're going to add more crap. Hi, Wolfie. Good to see you. Wolfie in the house. Mother Nature is off her meds. She is bipolar. I think you're right, Eve. She is off her meds. Have you seen that? It's like, I think he's on, I don't know if he's on TikTok and YouTube, but excuse me, it's where he does like, he's the different seasons. He's like spring, winter, summer, and fall, and winter is fishing, and spring is here, and he's saying, winter, you're not supposed to be here, you're supposed to be gone. So it's pretty funny how and then Mother Nature comes in. It's pretty funny how he does all the parts, and then he argues with himself. It's pretty funny. So tonight this is early interviews. This is like when summer had only been missing a month. These interviews are August 15th. So these interviews are just a week's worth of interviews. So, but I know there's a lot of them, but he says different stuff about different questions that he's asked in all of the interviews. But some of the stuff, the way he worded his answers the very first time, that these interviews were done, that Cher interviewed him, I didn't catch a lot of this. I didn't catch like the way he said it, or some of the ways he was saying it, because I guess I was just not listening, as closely as I should have. So I'm hearing a lot of different things as I'm going back and listening to it again. Like, really, he said that? And maybe it's hindsight, because you don't see it then, and then now because all this stuff that we know now, we didn't know the first month, that summer was missing. So it could be that. It could be, just looking back, it's odd now. But you'll see as we go through here, it's just maybe at the time it wasn't odd, but now for me it really is odd. Mimi Jean, hi, thank you for coming. See if I missed anybody while I was yakking. I don't think I did. Thank you for coming, Mimi Jean. Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Brad and Angela Pitt. I didn't see that movie, but I heard about that movie. Your laptop is starting up. Tell it shame on it for being asleep today. Shame for shame. The Smiths were hired assassins. Oh, okay. Cher said she will be up here soon, so that's good. Brown Eyes Blue, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. There's Cher in chat. Had to check my camera. I thought somebody pulled up in the yard. So we will be getting started as soon as Mandy pops up here. What is Mandy saying? Yeah, I try to be punctual. I usually, I'm never one that likes to be late. Like I will be at a doctor's appointment 15, 20 minutes early because I don't like to be late. I don't like to do anything late. It drives me nuts. It makes my whole day screwed up. If I get up late, then my whole day is, I'm just griping all day because my day has, in my head, I'm late. So now my whole day is late. I'm just screwed up the rest of the day. I guess it's that earth sign, I guess. Punctual, you structured, you be on time, you do things. So this doesn't bother me as much about being late, but if I'm going to go to a doctor's appointment or I have to be somewhere to, somebody's invited me to something, you dang straight, I'm going to be early or probably too early because sitting in my car because I can't be late. Okay, get the girls from work. Okay. Okay, not a problem. We heard voices. They were the spirits at our house. Yeah, uh-huh. What spirits? The drinking spirits or the other spirits? Man, I don't have time for grass to grow under my feet. I just don't. You was late to your own wedding. And it was in your backyard. Mandy, what'd you have to do? Boot your computer up? Mandy and her computer. Oh Lord. Yeah, I've there's never been one to like to be late. I can be 30 minutes for a doctor's appointment. As long as I'm there, I can sit out in my car. I'm okay. Oh, the scary kind of spirits. Okay, well, I talk to them, so I don't mind it. I don't mind those kind of spirits. So have y'all heard the latest news on the Summers case? Did you see a few channels have put out some stuff on an interview with somebody that has come out? I think it's an old interview, but I don't think it's been released before. Hi, Wondering Hearts. In the bushes, preparing for a house full of times. Oh, spring break. Bless you. I just finished spring break. My grandkids were on spring break. My grandkids that live here were on spring break. Now, this week, we are doing EOCs, which is end of course testing, but third grade and up only does those. And so one of my grandsons is out the rest of the week because he finished his grading. He's only going to school 3 days next week. He'll be out Thursday and Friday next week, and then they're out for Easter. So I asked one of the teachers the other day, I'm like, do you remember us having this many days out of school? She's like, no. I'm like, then why do we have this many now? It's ridiculous. They're out more than they're in. So I know what you mean by spring break. I get it. I think Mandy's was just on spring break too, and Southern Soul True Crime was in here. She's listening. I know she has a headache, so she's listening. She was, I think her kids were on spring break last week too. So, a bad car accident on Ben Hill today. Really? Hmm. Was it a red car? I mean, yeah, last week, Mandy. Yep. I know. We never got out of school for anything. If you were out, I mean, man. Yeah. Keep my kids in school longer. Yeah. Well, they get bored so quick, you know, and I know they got to have time out and time away from school, but man, it's not like it was when we were younger. I mean, we found something to do. It wasn't, I mean, yeah, I'm sure I said plenty of times I'm bored, but I didn't, you know, we didn't have the things they have now to keep themselves amused. Oh, not that lucky. I mean, no. Okay. Okay, Mimi. Well, I hope everyone was okay. But you said bad car wreck, so that might not have been. I know we never got out of school. It was we played in the woods chopping down trees and making yeah, I know we had plenty of tree houses and clubs and you know, we call them clubhouses, you know, where you had knock or make a special kind of knock or handshake or something to get in. We did that kind of stuff. We don't do what they do now. Oh, one passed, one bad still. Oh, that's not good. Was it a one car accident or was it two cars? Hmm, it's terrible. No boys allowed because they didn't fit. Yeah. Yeah. Those were the days. One person died in that car wreck on Ben Hill Road and the other in ICU. Oh. Was it two people, like two different vehicles, or was it one car? I've only seen that road like, well, I seen Don drive it at 80 miles an hour, so I really didn't see it. And then I seen like when the news crew, what was her name? I never can remember her name.
Ainsley Daniels.
Yes, that's it. When she was standing out there, you know, at the road, but I never really seen what kind of road it is. One car. Oh, yeah. Well, mm,
That's awful. I'm
yeah,
surprised there's not more wrecks on that road from what we've seen of it.
yeah. I mean, it looks windy and narrow. I don't know if it is, but
Right.
and from what we could see, Don driving like a race car driver
Exactly.
and all the bumps. I mean, I don't know.
But he drove the red car because you can see the red car and his truck is white, you know.
Right, right. Did everybody see Mandy's short about that? About the red versus the white vehicle driving them?
And that has always stuck out to me. I don't know why, but something about the way that he said that,
Mhm.
and
I know.
you know, I've always felt like
Yeah.
June 15th was planned out ahead of time anyway, and the
Mhm.
way that he said that, it just was like another pin on that red flag board of it was planned,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And they'll see it soon, right? Because it's in that interview that you're playing tonight.
Yeah, it's in that interview. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's
So
see where it's at. See, because the minute I was going through this interview too, yeah, it's pretty quick in here. It's at 14:59. So it's pretty quick in this interview. But the minute I heard that, I was like, oh, I gotta tell Mandy. So I
right.
sent Mandy a message and she's like, really? It's funny that you say that because so we were kind of on the same page. And Mandy, I don't know if you heard me when I was saying that, you know, you go back through here and you missed a lot of things that when it originally, he was doing the interview, Cher was doing them for the first time and you heard them and you just kind of missed out on a lot of stuff. You go back now and either it's hindsight saying, uh, why didn't I hear that before? Or why didn't I see that before? Or it's just at that time we hardly had any information. So now it's kind of like all makes sense, the different things he was saying. What do you think?
Right. Yeah, I think so. I think, in the middle of it, it's kind of like that with any case, we're we're listening for specific things depending on how we're looking at the case. Um, if we think that the person is suspicious, then we're going to listen to every word they say. We're going to pay attention to all their body language and we're going to make note of those things that stand out. But then if we go back and review it, 3 months, 6 months, a year, depending on, um, we're not looking for those specific things so much anymore because we've already seen so much and gathered so much.
Mhm.
And so going back, listening again, I think it's like different things stand out. Different things will pop out that we overlooked in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I think going back over interviews and stuff is so important because you don't see it, you don't hear it. Like we will probably go back over Sebastian's case and do the same thing,
Right. Yep.
which more people. I feel like more people have talked about Sebastian than they did Summer.
Yeah, I do too.
Which is not. I'm not saying that's a bad thing either way. I'm just saying I feel like more stuff has been brought out during Sebastian's case that we might have missed here and there that we totally missed in Summers because it was just not covered as much.
Right. Well, and I feel like that with each case, like, I started with with the West Boys, and it was like a certain um there were like 3 or 4 like main channels in air quotes that covered their case, but there were a lot of other channels. It was just those were the go-to channels. Just like with Summer's case, Cher,
Right.
Justin, PG, like there were certain channels that Ziggy, like they were the go-to channels because those were the ones who constantly were talking about those cases. But then or about that case, but then there were other channels that were smaller too that weren't as consistent or daily or well known.
Right.
And I think with Sebastian's case, it's like we're seeing a lot of these channels come out of the woodwork that are like, latching onto it, which is good because the more awareness, the better, like in no way, unless they're starting false rumors, in no way is it a bad thing
No,
for multiple channels to discuss the case.
no, it is not a bad thing. It is not. I agree because everybody has opinions, has their different ideas um, on what they think happened, or we may pick up on something somebody else didn't pick up on. So
Right.
more eyes on it. I think just think how great it would be if all those eyes that were on it could also be boots on the ground looking. That
Oh,
would
that'd
be
be awesome.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Because there's a lot of people that see the case, but they can't do anything. They can't be there to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be great. I mean, the more awareness, the better, obviously. And sharing the flyers, and that's why I try to drop. I'm actually trying to get Summer's missing flyer right now. The more eyes on the flyers, the better.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing, like, I want to challenge people, and I want to start doing it, like any panel I'm on, any live stream that I do, I want to start challenging people to, if you have a printer at home, it doesn't matter what kind of printer it is, print out 10 flyers of a missing person, a missing child of your choice. It can be Sebastian, it can be Summer, it could be Monkey, the West Boys are still missing. Um, just print out 10 flyers and put them in your vehicle, grab a roll of tape, and when you go to the gas station, ask if you can hang it up. If you travel outside of your city, stop at a gas station, ask if you can hang it up. Just one flyer might be the one that somebody sees that might spark something in their brain and be like, hey, I saw that person, or I saw that kid. That
Mm-hmm.
could be the one that brings them home.
Well, the little boy that was just found has been missing 7 years, I think. Now, I know that was custodial, the custodial parent. They found
And
him with
that's,
custodial parent, non-custodial
yeah,
parent. Yeah, and I know that that happens a lot too. Um,
right.
but it seems they seem to be found more if it's that case than it is if it's another case, right?
Right. Well, with that though, it's kind of like they have an idea of who took them,
Right. Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
way they have a better idea of
Mhm.
tracking them down.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's one of my biggest fears since I had my daughter. Her father, her biological father, moved to California. I live in Indiana. If he would have come here and wanted to see her, and I mean, there were a couple times that he took her and like went to his mom's and to see the family and stuff before she was a year old. I cried the entire time he had her because my biggest fear was if he takes off with her, I'll never find her.
Right. Yeah.
So I can't imagine how the custodial parent is dealing with a non-custodial family member having their child and not knowing where they are.
Right.
I mean, I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine a missing child, period, but I think that would be so frustrating and
Yeah.
so gut-wrenching.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine it either. I would not be. My goodness. I would.
Getting rowdy already.
Yeah, that he does this time of night. But I think what happened was a one of those they're giant mosquito like hawks. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, those nasty things.
Yeah, one got a couple got in when I opened the door and came in, and he's chasing them,
Oh.
trying to get them, and he's way too big, fatty boy, to be uh jumping on things. Not even a year old, and he's huge. I mean, he
Oh.
really has no business chasing them, and so, but he's trying. He's trying.
Hey, E for effort right there.
Yeah, he's trying. So if you hear a loud bang, he's probably jumped up on something that he. I come in here one day and my ladder that I have, it's a big ladder, big step ladder. It's
Yeah.
set up so I can get up and down in the lofts, and it was on the floor.
Oh no.
I have a bunch of bottles that I keep moon water in. It was on top of my shelf. They were all on the floor. I don't know how they didn't bust, but they were all on the floor from the top shelf.
He
I
was having fun.
Oh, I mean, this ginger cat is something else.
Oh, that's funny. Uh,
All
I
right.
miss having
So
cats.
this interview is from August 15th to August 22nd. So
Yeah. It's
it's
only
not,
1 week, and it's over 2 hours worth, and it was
yeah.
only 1 week, but it was when Dawn. So Summer had been missing since June 15th, so July, August, so 2 months, and
Hmm.
that's when he really started feeling so comfortable on Cher's panel
Yeah.
that he was on there so much I could only fit 1 week's worth
I know.
in a 2-hour video.
And I made my two shorts that I put up Monday or Tuesday and Wednesday. They are both from this interview.
Right. Yep.
So we'll get to see that full length of, I can't remember where they are in here, but hopefully we'll get. I know we'll get through one of them anyway. But yeah, this is Mark and Cher talking with Don, and it's so funny every time I see these interviews now. I look because I look at Don the way he's dressed because I remember what Cher told him.
Right. Shower, wear
Shower
your Sunday best.
on a nice shirt, look clean for your interviews, and I'm thinking,
Right?
thank God she told him that because there's no telling what we would be looking at had she not told had she
Oh
not
my
told
goodness.
had she not told him that. So okay, so I'm gonna bring this video up and we are gonna start it out. This starts out with this was a big deal. I remember this clearly going around pretty quick in Summer's case, and y'all probably will too if you followed Summer's case. All right, let me go over here into YouTube land. So
And I wanted to, before you get started, I wanted to kind of bring it up what we had talked about with the last stream that you guys did, and that I wasn't able to make it on panel because I didn't have electricity for 24 hours.
likely
Um,
excuse, Mandy. No,
I know, I'm telling you what. I'm
no,
sorry.
miss.
Um, when Don was talking about his stepsisters and Chris McDonough, and he was dragging their name, saying how awful they were, and they were lying on him, and and he got that tone in his voice of pity me.
Mm-hmm.
And we just don't know why they're lying like that. Why do they hate me so much? We
Mm-hmm.
just don't know. I just don't get it. That whole thing was all bull crap, because we learned later that they were being honest, which most of us already knew that. But
Mm-hmm.
we learned that they were being honest because of Don's own confession.
Mm-hmm. He says it himself.
Right. So then
Mm-hmm.
when he started talking in the second part of the interview about how we just miss Summer so much, and we just don't know why somebody would just abduct her, and we just want her brought back, and he's that same tone, that same pity us.
Mm-hmm.
And so keep that in mind as we're watching him now, because that tone is it's so distinct.
Yeah,
And he goes into it, I think, when he's telling a lie and wants to be the victim, that's the tone we hear.
he turns it on then.
Yes.
Yeah.
When he's telling the truth, he stands on his words. You can tell. He puts like bass in his voice, like he tells the truth. Like you can tell when he's being honest and when he's not.
Yeah. You can
And it's
also look
something.
at his face too, like when Cher asked him some questions, like when she goes to ask him the question and he's as she's saying it, you can tell by his face if he likes the question. Like if he's
Mhm.
thinking, how am I going to answer this? You know what? I got to come up with a good. You can tell because I've been watching his facial expressions, compared to one questions compared to the other.
Right. And that's what I think that helps. So I love that. Like um Wolfie said, body language shows so many tells. And that
Right.
is so true. And we
Yep.
have almost 4 years worth of Don Wells showing us his facial expressions, his body language, his verbiage, his tone when he's speaking, all of that. So
Mhm.
we should already, like law enforcement has to catch on to that within their first interview. They have to decipher what they know of the facts and what they're being told by interviewing.
Yeah.
Is this person being honest? And so I like to try to think like I'm interviewing the person in an interrogation room or something, like put my detective hat on and get at it.
That's
And
right.
so and so I watch for those things. And
Mhm.
so I think that that's what I enjoy so much about going back and seeing this stuff now.
Yeah. Because you do see a lot of things different. You hear it differently.
Right.
But like I said, I don't know if it's because when you first see, I think it's a little bit of all of it. Because I think when you first see the case, you're like, you're not, you don't know what to expect because you never seen this person or heard them talk or anything or their actions, and then as things go on, then that's where you develop a sense of who they are and how they are and their personalities. And then, years later, when you look back, you see it, but it's because you were new to the whole thing. I think a lot of it is too.
Yeah. Well, and they learned it. If Summer was your first case, then it was a learning experience from as soon as you heard about the case.
Right,
So everybody wants to believe a parent would not hurt their child.
right,
But history shows us that it happens more than one is too many, you know?
right, right.
And so we have to keep that in mind when people are coming out. I mean, just like one example, my opinion, Sebastian,
Hmm.
the things that Katie has done and not done
Right.
tells me a whole hell of a lot more than she wants it to.
Hmm. Not doing anything
Silence,
says more. Look at Monkey's mom.
right. Yep.
I mean,
And you
she
can't
hasn't
say,
stopped not looking.
right. You can't say, oh, well, because then people are mean. And what is happening to your child right now? How do you
Right.
know somebody's not being mean to your child right now?
Just stop. Just stop what?
Right.
Advocating for your child because you're not?
I mean, even Candace and Dawn came out and got on panels regardless. I mean, they got
Mhm.
tore up one side and down the other, and they still coming back.
Yep.
So that
Yep.
I give them credit for.
Mm.
At least they kept it was for different reasons, in my opinion. I think it was because they wanted the attention themselves, but they wanted to convince people
Well,
who didn't believe them,
yeah.
in my opinion.
They even let Chris Madonna in their house. You can't even
Right,
get near Katie and Chris's house.
right. Chris didn't even want their house on the news when the news was there on day one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't show the house. He went out and people said he yelled at the news reporters, and he said he went out and had a conversation with them, but we know whatever. So he asked them not to show his house on the news.
Mm-hmm.
Who
But
thinks about that when your kid is missing? Who
so,
thinks about that?
mm-mm. Who cares in the least about that?
Yeah, don't show my house. Don't say my name. Do you have to say my name? Are
Mhm.
you kidding me?
Don't show my wife's work vehicle.
Right? We're not pervy to that, okay? I mean, with Dawn and Candace, they didn't care so much in that because,
Mm-mm.
in my opinion, they're bullshitters.
Yeah,
They have the criminal mindset. They have the addict mindset that they can convince anybody of anything. And that's what I think kept them coming back so much and being so open,
yeah, yeah. And
my
and
opinion.
they felt comfortable with Cher. She did a good job with them.
Absolutely.
Well, Candace,
Absolutely.
She couldn't help Candace because Candace was like,
Well, Candace was just jealous,
"You
okay?
Well,
never,
My
Can
opinion.
you
she
never."
did need me sometimes. She would call and ask me to go to bat for her. So did Grandis.
Yeah, that call that we just played the other night on your channel, that I found that she was wanting to talk to you, and Dawn was like, "Okay, you can have her back,"
Mhm.
as he sat there and talked over her in the background anyway.
Uh huh. Yeah,
Right, Wolfie?
that's what she said. Now I'll play the. Your channel.
And you don't leave. That's another thing. Dawn and Candace both left the house
Stop.
shortly
Sure.
after
Mhm.
Sure.
shortly after Summer was reported missing, and
Mhm.
then Chris and Katie, what they
Yeah.
do? Same thing.
Yep. They didn't take long either. I mean, and they haven't been back, have they?
Yeah, they're back. They're at their house. They
Katie.
left and went, yeah,
Okay.
Katie and Chris. Katie went and stayed with Chris in the RV while he was at work,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think that it was long. And she came back home. So,
So they're in that big house, just them two.
yes.
Yes. Okay. All right, then. All
Yeah,
right.
Wolfie, there's parents that have missing children that have been missing for 20 plus years who refuse to move,
Mm-hmm.
who refuse to touch the child's bedroom
Mm-hmm.
because they want it
Mhm.
to be exactly the way it was when the
Yep.
child left the house the last time.
Yep. Want their
Hey,
rent?
Eve. Hi, Mimi.
I hear a car alarm.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell if it was in my earbud or if it was outside my window.
It was
My truck.
Wolfie. They wanted them to talk, so absolutely beneficial.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah. Oh,
some
yeah.
of it did get them hauled in for questioning and followed and all types of stuff. So
Yeah. It was beneficial. It just, it showed a lot of their normal life too, because they was on it so much.
Now, to be fair, it's been beneficial in Sebastian's case too, because I don't remember who said it, but somebody said that there were at least 3 creators that law enforcement reached out to about interviews that they had done on their channels
With the whales or
with Chris and Katie.
oh wow, okay.
Yep.
Wow.
So it is beneficial. If they will talk, it's beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every word is important.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna go over here and we're gonna get started. And then I will jump back over on the other side. But I can't see chat. Mandy, you know that though.
Yeah. We
Chat.
got you, boo.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
yeah.
First question I want you to answer is, are there any 17-year-old females that work at your company currently?
No, I don't think there's any. We have a large company, but there's no 17-year-olds. And I would never work a 17-year-old female. Maybe a male, but not a female.
Okay.
I laughed when I first heard that. I laughed.
Well, that will bring us to then, there's no 17-year-old girl that you have working for you, helping you on the job currently?
No, I'm here now. And I'm here by myself. After so many guys, being on drugs and stuff, I've decided just to work by myself because you can't find good help anymore. You just can't. But yeah, I'm here by myself.
Someone's always
good.
on drugs when it comes to
So,
them.
Huh?
It's always someone's on drugs.
I know.
Every time he's telling a story, it's, oh, they were out in their truck and they must have been on meth or something, or they're on drugs. It's always that with him.
Always the other person on drugs. Never.
Yeah, it's always someone on. It's always someone's on drugs though. He
Yeah.
can't tell a story unless there's someone there that's on drugs.
Well, and he has to go to YouTube to see how people react on certain
Yeah.
drugs too.
Yeah.
'Cause he doesn't know out of experience.
Hey, seclusion.
Seclusion works. Settles into okay. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Yep. Every time you hear him, he can't work with anybody. He's the only person that's there. All of them's on drugs. They hire that whole company of his just hire drug dealers and users.
Bottom line is Don good, everybody else bad.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. That's his mindset.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
You had told me, we're going to go over this because last night Chris said that he wanted his followers to come and ask us to ask you about your 17-year-old mistress. Apparently she works with you. I do know about the situation because you came to me about a week ago with this and we had our own thoughts and ideas, and so you blocked this person. We kind of already assumed this was a setup, but what do you have to say about this?
The girl that was, I don't know what her deal is. She's from United Kingdom. She's a really nice girl, but I don't know. She just I don't know. I guess she was just lonely. There's been quite a few actually.
So yes
some older,
to
some
talking
younger.
to a 17-year-old. And remember, Robin Lane told me that I shouldn't be worried about that. That's no thing.
Yeah, I couldn't believe. Well, I can believe she said that, but
Is 17 really that bad? Really? Come on, it could be worse. Really, Robin?
what's worse, Robin?
And why is a member of the church okaying adultery?
Yeah, that's not what you're supposed to be. That's a sin.
Right. You think.
Maybe not in their
So
church.
what kind of church is this?
Right. Exactly.
I remember it was like, does her husband have a 17-year-old mistress? But I mean, there's Don and not denying it either. Yes, he's talking to a lonely 17-year-old. Well, does he talk to lonely 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds? Like what's the limit in Don's mind of lonely girls and ages that he's keeping company?
Yeah,
Does he have a limit?
I don't think he does.
Right. I guess I'm kind of asking.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt it, because if a 5-year-old was lonely and looking for a friend, we know that they would talk to him, because Allison had like a little girl around the house or something like that, and Don was like, and they don't want her and they just treat her like garbage, and she's a beautiful girl. I don't know how old, but it was a young girl anyway. So yeah, there is no limit for Don.
Well,
Well,
17
and
is old for him.
Oh, I
remember when
know.
he said,
I was sent all the conversation. What I will say is that I do think it was someone who was not 17, um, because I unfortunately saw the pictures. They were not a minor, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
but they were trying to lead Don on. So all the more power to you. I know exactly what you were doing, and I'm fine with it. I'm just saying that, but Don didn't know that. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
I had to convince Don he was being played. And then it was, oh yeah, I knew I was being played. If you go back and listen, yeah.
Yeah, sure he knew. Sure he knew. I was too busy with my SATs and escaping on the SAT. Yeah. Sorry, seclusion.
remember when Don had made a comment, I want to say about one of Allie's family members. And it was like a 12-year-old girl, and he said something about a
Not a
badass
body
body.
from hell. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Body from hell. Yep.
Mm-mm-mm.
5, 12, 17. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yep.
Dawn's a victim. Okay. Dawn is always the victim.
Yeah, and he always gets bad workers. He does all he work.
Yep.
He's the only one that works hard.
He's the only one that knows how to.
Yeah.
All these kids and 17 and younger always around him, that all the parents and adults in their life suck and somehow end up around Don and Candace.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of kids. That's scary.
And he didn't know that area was that bad either. Remember?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he didn't know how many good church people they had living around him either.
Yeah, you
But
can't.
they hang out with good church people.
So I was listening to an old thing of Molly Golightly, and Molly had gone inside that church, right? And she got in trouble, but something she said I did not hear until just yesterday, listening back. They have all kids taped up to the walls going through that church, not in picture frames or like a church would have, like maybe, kind of like yearbook style photos or church photos through the years in frames. No, just photos of the kids, like headshots or pictures, just fucking scotch tape to the walls in there. That's
What?
weird. Yes, I'll find it and I'll clip it. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, how did I not hear this before? That's stinking weird. And that makes sense why they started locking the doors up from not wanting YouTubers to come inside, because there is definitely weird things going on in there. And Molly also said Summer, while being missing, her missing flyer wasn't one of the pictures taped up or nothing, but just all of the kids of the church just taped to the walls inside there.
Wow.
And not Summer.
Summer's picture wasn't up
That's weird.
Nope, that's what Molly said. And I'll find it. I just re-listened to it yesterday because I was shocked when I heard it back.
there. How did would Molly get in trouble for going in there? Did they
She did get in trouble, yeah, because she took in a pen that was a camera, a spy camera, and was recording Robin Lane's kid, and she got in trouble and kicked out.
uh,
But that doesn't change what she saw.
no.
Well, she didn't get kicked out for the pin. Wasn't the pin was shown after she? I don't think she got kicked out because
She did get
I'm
kicked
pretty
out. She got kicked out, and then Robin Lane, I think, tried to even get a order of protection on her.
Well, at that time, she didn't know anything about the spy pin, and the way that she caught her child, Robin's child, was because she was looking at Marissa's purse. And so once
Yeah.
Marissa put that footage out, then she got in trouble, like almost legally got in trouble for recording a minor. But that's when the restraining order came. When they went to church, her and JLR were sitting in the car talking about it. And she said she talked to Robin. She sat by Robin. Robin invited her to lunch or something after church. So when she was there, she was welcome. It was after she left when she got in
Well,
trouble.
yeah, her story with the spy pen and stuff, that goes back and forth and changes. I'll be honest with you, I don't believe her anyway. She knew that pen was there. But that's beside the point. The point is she let us know Summer's picture is not on the wall. Her missing flyer is not on the wall. But children are not in frames, nothing. She said that they're just like thrown up, taped on the wall. And she said it was very, very weird and felt weird. Like she didn't even feel comfortable being in there. Like cameras aside, let's pretend that's not even a thing. I'm going to find it because it was very, you can love or hate Molly. You know, I do. We have this love hate thing, but, she's also done and put some good information out there. And I thought that was very interesting. And I thought to myself yesterday, like, where the hell was I? Because this is the first time I'm hearing that.
Did she sit through a
Mhm.
service?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she and JLR and Bullhorn Betty and Olivia, I think, were the 4, right? I don't think Justin was there yet.
Yes. Right. That's right. And Olivia's mom.
Yeah. And when they left, I think I remember that because I think I have the recording of when she went out and got in the car with JLR, and then Bullhorn Betty was still in the church. And then she came out after, like, her and Marissa and JLR left first. And she went live and she was sitting in the car. She was wearing a blue shirt. I'll never forget it because she was like chomping like a cow in the live stream. And that bothers me so much. But she was talking about what happened inside the church. And then when BHB came out, she came over to the car and started talking to JLR. And Marissa was like, okay, we got to go. So I remember parts of it because of that
Okay,
stuff. But
I was actually listening. Okay, when you bring that up, that's funny because so she was retelling the story then because she was telling about a tift between her and Bullhorn Betty and JLR and stuff when that all went down and when they and all of that. That was part of the story. But yeah, so she's retelling the story. I want to find it. Hold on.
Yeah, because I think BHB came out and told JLR something that they didn't want on live stream, and Molly didn't know that they didn't want it on live stream. And I think you can hear part of it because he's outside of the car, but I think you can still hear part of it or something along those lines. So that was probably the tiff that she was talking about. But they were supposed to be meeting up with Robin after service for lunch or something. So I'll have to go back and look through my memory card and see if I have it on there.
Did they meet Robin for lunch?
I don't remember. I don't think they
No.
did.
They were supposed to, but they played them around a lot. They were never really going to, but no, I don't think they did.
Okay. Okay. All right, we'll continue watching this one while you're looking for your share.
But I told her, number one, I'm married.
Your other one.
And number two, I'm way too old for that. And if I ever, if me and my wife ever get divorced, I won't ever get, I've learned a lot over the years, especially not to even be around a 17-year-old. That's just crazy. I might have fell for that stuff when I was younger, but never again.
When you brought this to me, do you remember what our conversation was and what our thinking was about this girl coming to you?
Yeah, you told me I need to block her right away because it's probably a setup from Chris McDonough. And so,
and
that's the reason I blocked her.
I had to tell him to block a
Can
17-year-old.
You what?
I had to tell him to block 17-year-olds. Not, I'm in my 50s, I'm a grown-ass man, and I know that's wrong, so I blocked her. But yeah, I blocked her because you told me I should.
Mm-hmm. And you shouldn't had to have told him that.
I ask you, how many people knew about this girl? So there should have only been like you, myself, and this girl that knew about the situation, right? So how would Chris know about the situation?
I'd say he had to have been the one behind it the whole time, unless he's just grasping for straws. I don't know. I just told her I'll pray for her that she finds a good man, and then blocked her for that.
Yep, and that's the situation I know. And the reason why we didn't address this is because, well, we didn't really think it was a thing. We thought for sure it was a setup, but blocker, whatever, haha, nice try, Chris, is what we were thinking. But for this to come out on his channel last night really solidifies the fact that he sent someone in to try and trick you, right?
Yeah, he's trying everything. And just for him to slip up on his show and to say who I work for, who's my employers, that was a low blow because there's people calling my employers. And my employer might have to let me go because of this, because they're getting harassed now. Over all these lies.
It was,
I mean,
think after.
don't call his place of employment trying to get him fired. That's just wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That won't only hurt Don. That will hurt Candace and the boys too. Like, that hurts the whole family. They need that income.
Yeah, you guys, I'm telling you, I was aware of the situation, and it smelt like a setup from somebody somewhere. And the fact that he said this last night, Chris, on your show, my guy, since I know you're watching, this is so wrong what you're doing. You made this about everything else except for Summer. Now this poor man who is now missing all of his children has to come out and defend himself because you have created, because you are a TV detective, you needed to create some villain. This is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this in my life. And it's very, very sad. And people are actually like seeing what is going on, and it's not looking good on you, man. It's not looking good. It's wrong.
He did so well, like with Allie and Hunter and Candace, and even the actual interview itself with Don was good. But I don't know why he decided to turn this into a witch hunt. Like there are plenty of other guys in that area who have alibis, just like Don, who would be a far more reasonable suspect to me than this. So I don't know why he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Don's back here.
And really quick, I want to say, you guys, like, looking at Chris's record, he has ties to other states where Don has lived. I'm almost wondering.
Oh my God, this is yes, he's so bad. We have so much documented conversations of he really, really wanted to make it seem like and put a timeline together that Chris McDonough has been stalking Dawn for years. Poor Dawn Wells, the victim Dawn's been stalked by Chris McDonough.
Yeah, he did this through quite a bit of this interview. He sticks on that. You kind of know what he wants, what he's
Yeah, and you got to let him go with it. And that's, how they be on our good side, be our friend. Well, part of it was just going at Chris McDonough. They thought that was cool. So that's what we did.
And it was like a distraction away from what was really going on. It was a scapegoat kind of like way to go. So That's what I thought. I'm like, man, he's trying to drum this up to put Chris Madonna in
his
this.
name before because this seems awful personal to you, and it's not right. So I'm wondering, because I know you've got ties to Utah. Did you come across his name in Utah, Chris? Like, you have a real hard on for Mr. Wells, and everybody can see it. So what's up with that? I'm just going to throw that out there. Don, I'm
Sherry, you have a lovely way with words.
I'm just cringing.
sorry to ask you this as well, but people said they saw you at the prayer circle, but you were in the truck. Only Candace was outside. Some people say Candace goes, you don't go. I mean, I know you're at work all the time. Sometimes you show up to the prayer circle separately because you're coming from work and she's coming from home. Just kind of why do you kind of try to stay away? Like, I already know, but let's hear from you why you're not at all of the prayer circles, or why when you are there, you try to kind of stay out of the way.
Yeah, I went to the prayer circle last night, but I was afraid somebody'd have a hidden camera there again, like they did last time. So I was looking to see if anybody had a hidden camera or anything. But they had live TV there, and I didn't want to be on camera because anytime I say or do anything, people say bad things about me. So I ended up going. You just didn't see me there because the news crew talked to me, but off camera. And I told them, about y'all and everything and what's going on and stuff, but it was all off camera. I don't really want to be on camera unless I'm with y'all.
Okay, hold on.
That's why.
I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Does he not realize how many live streams that church did of every service every Saturday?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not that much, is it?
Like,
I'm
they
wondering.
they had tons of their services on their YouTube channel or on their website. Like, that's what we're getting ready to go through Friday night on my channel in the timeline when the Wells started going to that church, and like the very first time that they showed up on camera at one of the services, and then each time after that I was able to locate still, because the church has taken those down since, but they were putting them up every single Saturday. So what is he talking about? So what if she had a spy pin or a secret camera or, whatever? They were live streaming the whole service.
Yeah, that's
I
They didn't want her record.
Exactly right. And he just didn't want to go beyond the news. Like right now, what he's telling the public is he turned down, instead, he had me on video camera, not even paying attention at all to what's going on. And turning down wanting to go on the news, which would have hit a lot more than just having a little share on your video camera. To be honest, was just there to try, I feel like, so I could later be like, oh, he had me on video camera, he was at the prayer vigil, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
For clout.
Yep. Sorry, that just stuck out to me. I had to speak up.
No, you're all right. Just let me know when you want me to stop it.
Oh, while I remember, really quick, sorry.
No,
I wanted to tell you ladies that I did go through TikTok and privately message Chasing Truth to get from her, like, what's going on from her side or whatever, and asked if we could have a conversation. So hopefully she'll want to do that. I don't know, but I wanted to tell you guys.
Oh, cool. Okay.
What's going on?
I mean, I guess that she's not supportive of the Wells and has actually been more recently, like within the last, from what I saw, like in the last month, vocal about the Wells are not so innocent.
Oh.
Because she was opposite that in the interview we shared, she really believed, they didn't have anything to do with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's always had the outlook of, I haven't seen anything that says to me that they're guilty.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
interesting.
But I saw something with my own ears and eyes a couple days ago, so it made me. I got the courage together, messaged her privately, and asked if we could have either a private conversation or if we could have a public, party panel conversation. Because now I'm curious, like, what did it change for you? When did it change for you? Why? All of the above, right?
Right. Yeah. Wanted
Right.
to change. Yeah. Yeah. That would definitely be interesting to hear.
Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, the fact that you can't even be a part of this, people praying for summer, and you have to sit back because people are hounding you so bad. Like, this has just gotten ridiculous.
And that he's on the lookout for people with hidden cameras and stuff that you have to worry about that. It's unbelievable. I'm sorry. It's almost embarrassing to be a human being right now because of what people are doing and how they're acting. It's unbelievable.
Just vile behavior.
That
Do
was
you
deep.
feel like there is law
That was deep. Is that what you said?
That was deep. Embarrassed to be a human being right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He bought it though.
He did.
enforcement or maybe some private detectives or anything like that that are undercover at these prayer vigils?
You know, I don't have any idea. I mean, there's been a lot of people come at us, you know, to say they was going to do this and do it that, act like they're our friends of all kinds, and then they just disappear, like they're trying to get some kind of information out of us or whatever, which is fine because we have nothing to hide. That's fine. They can come in, pretend to be this or that, question us, and go on their merry way. That's fine. Yeah, it's just we've had everything come at us, you know. I don't know, but yes, yeah. But, you know, this Chris McDonough thing, is it okay if I elaborate some? This thing that started with my niece Trish, whom I barely know, you know, I think she's
Mandy,
Mm-hmm.
here's your attitude adjustment.
Yep. Here we go.
the one
He
who
even
started
asked
all this
permission.
stuff, you know.
Huh?
He even asked permission.
He did. He did. He has to get this off his chest. See?
That's right. That's right. Pity me.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Now I got to go get it again. I don't know what happened.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well,
Sherry
chat.
said she'll be back up shortly.
Okay, chat, and I will find the video.
All right. That's right, Wolfie. People that have nothing to hide, hide nothing. Exactly. And I understand wanting to put a filter on things, you know, like, should you say a 5-year-old initiated inappropriate contact? No, that would be where your filter would be up, you know. Certain things should be filtered, but otherwise, if you have nothing to hide, why would you hide from a camera? Why would you stand off to the side at a prayer vigil for your own child? And I remember the vigils. It took Don multiple before he finally showed up to the first one, because I remember people were so happy at the vigil that he was there that they asked him to, you know, if he wanted to say something, and he did. I got a few different screenshots from that vigil because the way that he was looking at the camera, it made my stomach turn in multiple different ways that it's never turned in my life.
All right, I'm almost there.
It was scary. Okay.
I had to bring it, I think, if I can remember correctly, how far we let me see if this is where we were at.
Oh, Mimi Jean said chasing said they found something out and she's not going to tell. That is all.
Huh?
Yeah.
Jason said they found something out and she is not going to tell. That's all.
Hi, Villanova.
Okay.
And that she can't support the Wells anymore. Well, I think that if you found something out, you should share that information, at least with law enforcement, you know, first of
Right.
all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if
Absolutely.
it's something that you feel like you can't share because law enforcement is supposed to be handling it, then that would be okay. Let us, let the public know that. But you can't just say that you're not going to support the Wells anymore and not give any more detail after that. I mean, come on now.
Okay,
Hey, Nova.
hold on just a second. I'm trying to unscrew myself. If it's at all possible, and I'm trying to do this with as much patience and dignity as I can.
Oh, that's not possible then. Dignity and patience, no.
So I'm trying to remember what timestamp we were at, and I cannot. So when we left, so let me see what this says.
That's fine. They can come in, pretend to be this or that, question this, and go on their merry way. That's fine.
That's about right.
Yeah, it's
very
just we've had
close.
everything come at us.
Okay.
I don't know, but yes.
Cher, did you want to say anything before I started the video back?
Um,
Did you see what Mimi Jean said?
no. And can't support the Wells no more.
Chasen said
Oh,
they found something out and she is not going to tell.
oh, she can't. Well, she went public though and said that, and so she got to tell a little more. I don't know, but whatever.
Okay.
It is what it is.
That's
What
not
took
fair,
so
is it?
long chasing? Come on, Tracy, get with the damn program.
And that's what I
not-
said. You can't say that and then not give us a little something,
Right? Receipts. Where's the receipts? Or it didn't happen.
That's right.
Like what finally made it click in your mind, because
Yeah,
it
we got
clicked
it
in
now.
all of our minds a long ass time ago.
Mhm.
We do. We got it now.
Magic stars in the house.
Magic Star, hello. That's like teasing you. It's like, it's like
Right.
Yeah.
part of something that. Hi, Jess. I didn't see you. I'm sorry. I was over here trying to unscrew this thing over here. I'm very sorry. Did I miss anybody else? Villanova, hello. I missed you. I'm sorry. I think I'm together now. All right. Let's go back and listen to the words of wisdom from Don.
Oh my goodness.
This Chris McDonough thing, is it okay if I elaborate some? This thing that started with my niece Trish, whom I barely know.
We went past
Hi, Jess. Hi, Magic Star. Hi, Jess.
We made it past that, didn't him complaining about
I mean,
that was where he kicked it.
okay, all right.
I think she's the one who started all this stuff, all these rape allegations. And I would just like to say to everybody, I've never raped anybody in my entire life. I was wrong. I didn't know no better. I was a teenager. I made mistakes.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Hold on.
I've
No.
never raped
Did not come
anybody.
out the gate like that. I did not rape anybody in my life, except that one time, but that was wrong. That was a mistake.
But I was a
What?
kid. I didn't know
I
no
was a
better.
kid. I didn't know, never
She
in my life
initiated it.
have I ever, but that one time, I'm sorry, Lord.
Real Bill Clinton vibes.
Real Bill Clinton vibes, Mark said, yeah.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I did
love you, America.
I did not inhale.
I was getting ready to say that same thing.
I did not inhale. Yeah.
Yes. And the way he said it, exactly, it sounded just like Mr. Clinton. I have not, except.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know she was under my desk. Sure.
She initiated it, okay,
Right.
officer?
Right.
She initiated it.
Right.
What was I going to do? Tell her no?
She's my secretary. She was dictating, taking shorthands.
Yeah, how's that dictate?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Boy, that was a bunch of squirrels. Okay, here we go.
Ever in my life. And for them to say what Trisha said, that I raped her and Amanda and everybody and my own kids and all that stuff, no wonder Chris Madonna and some of these others might be looking at me as hard as they are. No wonder people in Utah always give me such a hard time.
Whoa.
I'm just now
Hold
finding
on.
stuff out.
Hold up, wait a minute. So he didn't even say like he didn't even just put Summer because like yeah, we've definitely lots of people have said that he's raped or essayed Summer, but he didn't just say that. He said my kids.
My
So
kids, yep.
he's throwing all his kids in there. He did that, so he's been touching all them kids, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. He said my kids.
Well,
He didn't.
but here's the thing, though. Trish never said that he graped her. She said that
Right.
she was touched inappropriate one time when she was on
Oh,
his lap or something. Something about her sitting on his lap, and he made her feel very uncomfortable by what she had felt, what he had done, and that was the only time that it happened with her. She was there for moral support for Jeannie, her mother. And he admitted to what he did. But he has stood on that he hasn't raped anybody. But touching a child inappropriately, I mean, wrong is wrong. Okay?
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Whose
It
child is
doesn't
it?
it doesn't matter. She was still traumatized. She
Mm-hmm.
was still 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And you were the cause of that, Donald Wells.
Right.
So you can preach to the mountaintops that you didn't grape anything.
It is gross.
Still gonna call you Chester.
So good. And he defends himself over and over again with that too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I didn't know no better, and she came on to me, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
He was what, 11, and she was 5.
Mm-hmm.
He was
he was like
12.
19 or
Or
12.
12.
Yeah, 12, and she was
Yeah.
5.
5 and 12 until she was 12 and he was 19.
19. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. No.
No.
Like that's something
It
that
doesn't
bothered
matter
me.
that she instigated it. It doesn't matter. Like,
Right.
why Don's standing
And
on
she
that,
was
I have no idea.
5. Like she was 5. How much could she instigate or initiate or
How much was
you
she
know like
at 5? She didn't
right.
know none of that stuff.
No, when you're 5, it's not even sexual. It's like curiosity, if anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
But when you're
And that was
12 and
something
you're a boy, you definitely understand sex.
well,
right
and
wrong.
even if we give him the benefit of the doubt because he said, that's how he was raised. He saw stuff like that all the time. Okay. There was dirty things laying around the house that he had access to as a child. Okay. But when you were 19 and you went to jail, you didn't learn any better that you came home and you still went right back to trying to touch her.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're 50 something years old now and you still can't say I did something wrong. I'm sorry.
And
Yeah.
neighborhood and people in the neighborhood, your sister's friends and all that. It came to a point where people weren't even allowed at your house and stuff. Like you knew it was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, if it had happened, like, say, a few times or whatever when Don was 12, 13, it's still bad. But, like, if he would stand up and say, yeah, I was totally wrong. I knew it was wrong. But, I grew up with all this shit and my head's, like, all spun around when it comes to that stuff. But now, as an adult, he knows what's right and wrong. He knows what's good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he still stands on it, that says everything you need to know.
And he never was listed as a sex offender, was he?
No.
Well, he was never charged.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He never was charged as one, was he? Which
I
is
don't,
scary.
yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And to be a devil's advocate on the other side of that, the fact that
Children
all
of his
this stuff,
own.
the fact that all this stuff about Don and Jeannie and all the other girls, the fact that only came out after Summer went missing, leaves a real bad taste in my mouth.
Well, that's why they came out, though, because I actually had a conversation with Mary and told her how I felt, and that is why they finally came out. And they wish that they didn't come out. It wasn't fun for them, but that's why, because could it have to do with that? She was 5. It started for them when they were 5. So could that have something to do with it? You know, that's why they did come forward, which I understand, but um and where my question to Don, which up until when he finally the last round to stop talking to me, where he basically admitted it, is, you know, that okay, you have your charges, you got to face the music for that, because not only that, you confessed to it, you went all around YouTube confessing to it before they even came out. You started confessing to this, so they actually had every right to come out and use their voices. Then, if you think about it,
Mm-hmm.
he was the dumbass
Absolutely.
that brought it up to begin with.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not such a bad guy because I'll admit to I did this starting when my sisters were 5. Well, Don, does whatever happened in the past with your sister have anything to do with why your daughter is missing? Because if
Right.
it's no, then just don't worry about that right now. Just focus right now. Get out there, search for your daughter, put flyers out there, put your stuff with your sisters on the back burner, and only focus on Summer. You can do that. But
Yeah.
that one of the last couple lives with me where I asked him that, he freaked out and heard that I said that it has to do with why Summer's gone, and he all hell broke loose and whatever. So he basically told on himself again in that moment. But yeah, when you actually stop and think about it, Don is the actual first one who brought up anything to do with what happened with his stepsisters when they were younger. He did.
Hmm.
Well, I wonder if he found out that they had gone to law enforcement, because they went to law enforcement right after Summer was reported missing. So I wonder if he found out that way, or if maybe one of them
Yeah.
had posted. Because I know it started on Facebook and then moved to YouTube, because Trish had posted on Facebook first.
With
And
McDonough, in my opinion.
well, I know that they had started there because somebody had done an interview with Trish on Facebook.
Mhm.
It's a True Crime Sisters or something along those lines is the name. But then that's when they came to YouTube, and then TM did the interview with Trish first, and then Chris McDonough had done the interview with Jeannie and Trish, and then with Mary. So
Hmm.
I wonder if that's why, because Don wants you to think what he wants you to think. And if you think something's different than what he thinks you should think about him, then he's going to keep going with that. So he couldn't let it go. He couldn't let people think that he was a bad guy. Oh, no, no. You have to hear Dawn's side. She initiated it. It wasn't his fault.
Right.
Yeah. So messed up.
Right. Yeah, Mimi Jean, I remember that too when he was talking about Margie when she turned 18, that
Oh,
she
she
was
took
great
it.
and she took it like a champ. She didn't go whine and cry and tell
Yeah.
everybody.
Hmm.
He knows even his first daughter, who's an adult, was raped, and you know what a good job she did. And yeah, she took it like a champ because she kept it to herself, out of
Yep.
public. Yep, that's Don's
Yep.
crazy.
Oh, cold meds, Mimi Jean. Are you taking med? Are you
Mm-mm.
got a cold?
And no, Wolfie, he couldn't say no. He didn't. He didn't have a chance. And she talked about how she would hang cans up on a string in her doorway so that when he would walk in, it would make noise in hopes that it would wake her parents up. She would wear layers of clothes to bed in hopes that it would deter him from getting to the spots. I mean, she went into a lot of gruesome detail about things that she had to think of as a child because of his desires.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty gross.
it is gross.
It's awful. And like, that's something that, like, that, I don't know, I can't go into detail why, but that always has stuck with me. I did an in-depth video about after Jeannie and Trish and Mary came out. And I went back to their ages because he was trying to lie about their ages and the age difference between them. And That's how I know that she was 5. She said she might have been 4 when it first started, because it was when they had bought a house together and they were in the process of moving. And so she said she might have been 4 when it started, which meant he would have been 11. But she's positive that it was happening when she was 5 and he was 12. And Mary and Dawn are 1 month apart. And Mary is 7 years older than Jeannie. So like, those details are burned into my brain.
Yeah. It is.
Oh, Mimi Jean, it's nice that your granddaughter is so sharing.
Yeah, it happens. Oh,
Well, I
yeah,
hope you both feel better.
it happens. They like to share with you.
Yeah.
They've been spreading these lies for years, and they're untrue and they're lies. And I'm calling them out on it because it's not true. And the thing that Mary said the other day, where me and my 2 buddies ripped her shirt or something like that, I said, Mary, do you remember who stopped all that? No, she conveniently doesn't remember who stopped all that. But the other 2 got their asses beat. I will say that. That's,
She did remember.
Chris McDonough, we don't live in the 80s anymore. This is 2021. You can't just lock people up on allegations and throw away the key like you did in the 80s. It's a different world now.
Well said.
Okay, some people are pointing out that I've seen this morning, because they heard us mention that you asked EquiSearch to come back. Law enforcement isn't allowing that right now. But some people are wondering, did you talk to EquiSearch the first time they were in Tennessee? Some people are saying you didn't. How come you didn't? Were you told not to talk to them or anything like that?
Yeah, we didn't even realize who EquiSearch was or what they were about. We had no clue. And we just heard, some people talking. And I've talked to EquiSearch, I've talked to Dave, I've talked to Ron, and we both apologized to each other for the things that were said. They want to come back out there and search. And we want them to. We want them to sit at our kitchen table and have a cup of coffee with us and talk or whatever and try to resume this. But because of what Mr. McDonough has done and the sideshow, the psychics and everything, Ronnie Lawson's put a stop to the whole thing. He's really upset about it. It's turned into a circus, and now that Mr. McDonough has made all his money and stuff like that, he's not even in this state. He's out of here. He's made his money off Summer. He ain't done one thing to help find Summer. I'd like to know what that one thing is if he has. I still haven't heard back on that. People say he's done more this and that. Well, what has he done? I'd like to know, except for spread lies. He's helped spread. He might have fell victim to Trish's lies. Maybe he actually believes these lies. I don't know, but I'll tell you, he fell victim to them. And I've been victim to them all my life, pretty much. If that's what they've been saying all these years, I think it's pretty sorry.
One quick thing, Don, about the EquiSearch thing. If you could get them back, is there any specific place you would want them to search?
Well, I think the only place that I know to search is the mountainous terrain in our area. But then again, they had a helicopter up for like 7 days straight. The only time they stopped the helicopter one day is because there was guys on horseback, I think. Well, I know there was guys on horseback searching the areas and they didn't want the helicopter flying. While horseback was trying to get in certain areas, or the horse was trying to get in certain areas.
Did you say something, Cher?
Yeah, can you rewind that? Because he self-edited for some reason right in there.
Yep. Hold on.
Let me
7
say
days
real
straight.
quick.
How far do you want me to go back?
Right before the horses, like 90 seconds to go back.
Before you play that, can I say real quick?
Yeah.
The statute of limitations in Utah, law enforcement took their reports when Mary and Jeannie went to law enforcement, and the other victim who came forward. When they went to law enforcement, they took the reports. And when Don was in jail when he violated his probation, so it would have been in January until June, I think, whatever that long stint was, the detective actually called from Utah and talked to Don on the phone. And Josh on the lab had that recording of that phone call. Don refused to admit anything, even though he had already admitted it on social media, on YouTube. He lied to that detective and said, that he never did anything that Mary said. And the detective kept trying to tell him, well, let me tell you what Mary said. And he was like, it doesn't matter. It's all lies. She's a liar. They're all liars. I'm telling you the truth. I know what happened. They're all liars. He wouldn't even let the detective get it out. So it was supposed to be investigated, but nothing has ever come of it. So the statute wasn't up, like it was still, they were still able to prosecute, but nothing has been done. I haven't heard anything about it in a very long time. So
Yeah.
Let's see if I think I went back far enough.
Specific place you would want them to search?
Well, I think the only place that I know to search is the mountainous terrain in our area. But then again, they had a helicopter up for like 7 days straight. The only time they stopped the helicopter one day is because there was guys on horseback, I think. Well, I know there was guys on horseback searching the areas and they didn't want the helicopter flying. Well, that horseback was trying to get in certain areas, or the horse was trying to get in certain areas. But, and then they flew them planes at night with infrared. It's just hard to say. Nobody has a clue. I don't know where they could possibly search that they haven't searched already, unless they just missed something. But they're just.
Did you say something, Cher?
No, so I was trying to find that video where Molly said that about the church, but it's gone now.
Oh, did she take it off her channel?
Well, the person who had the live stream, I went back to their channel and the one channel, they took all their live streams down.
Oh,
So anyway, yeah. So,
were they all about summer or just different things?
well, no, it was about Molly talking about the inside of that church and having all the kids taped to walls.
Yeah, I know, but did they take the other live streams they took down? Were they about summer?
It was Day for Justice, so she had all kinds of different shit.
Oh,
Something I find odd. Don said he didn't know who EquiSearch was
yeah.
or anything like that. But wouldn't it be like a standard procedure if you're going to go search for a missing child? Like, wouldn't you talk to the parents first?
Well, they did try, but remember, Candace was being an a-hole and would only give them an old dirty sock, and we were on video calls with them during some of that. And then the one time they went out to eat with them because it was Dave Radar's birthday, and he still went back to go help search for his birthday. And Don decided, oh, I better look good. Actually, Tim Mullen decided they better look good and went to the restaurant and took some pictures, and that was it. But yeah, they knew who they were. They absolutely, yeah, they did. Introduce themselves, asked for something for scent, and tried to get to know the area, them, and
Yeah, so why would Don lie about that? It's so weird.
he lied about everything. But you were so fair to him. You were just letting him talk, and
Well, we both were. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
Like, if he's innocent, we want him to say his piece. If he's guilty, we want him talking.
Right.
yeah.
yeah, you both did really good. I mean, really good.
Well,
We
we
wouldn't
tried
have
our
gotten-
best anyway.
We wouldn't have gotten as much as we did. I mean, honestly, you guys were the gate to YouTube. He came onto YouTube because of you guys, and he stayed with you guys for the longest until he started deciding to get drunk and panel up elsewhere. But, it just made him comfortable. Everything that you guys did made him comfortable, and we wouldn't have this if it wasn't for you guys doing it. So I'm definitely appreciative of you guys giving him the grace and the respect that you gave him.
Mimi Jean said they partied all. Don said they partied all night. Who is they? EquiSearch. EquiSearch didn't party with Don, did they?
No, they went out to the restaurant. Is what it was.
Okay.
There's pictures of it. EquiSearch posted pictures. It was Dave Radar's birthday, so.
Okay.
I remember when they were on Duty Ron's channel and they were it was Dave Radar and Twyla the one that was like the voice during Summer's case for Equisarch. And she said that she doesn't look at any of the parents as guilty or innocent. She's just there to be there for whatever they need, because she needs information from them to be able to go search for the child.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't judge one way or the other. That's not their job. That's law enforcement's job. Her job is to find the missing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mandy, your part's coming up in about 10 minutes.
Woohoo! Yay! Sharon Mark. Remember how many times I have said to you guys, remember when you guys were interviewing Don and he said something about he drove the red car to do the reenactment video because you can see the red car and his truck was white?
Mm.
And you guys had no idea what I was talking about?
Well, that seems really familiar now.
Yeah,
Well, it's coming up.
About 6 minutes. It'll be coming up.
When it comes up, you'll understand like the way that he says it. And he specifically says you can see in the car, you can see the red car. And it's like adds more validity to why I think the 15th was planned ahead of time.
Oh, for sure it was. Oh, and really quick before I forget, well, I'm not going to forget, but ladies, it's starting to warm up here in Estevan, so we're going to be getting right back on Courtney Struble stuff too, if you guys would help.
Awesome. Yes.
Okay. So,
all right, play the next 6 minutes, Tammy.
Okay. It actually comes in at 14:58:59, somewhere along in there. You know, I got timestamps.
That's right. You're good at that.
So many people there. My only guess would be, the mountainous terrains maybe, which is very hard to climb and very hard to, traverse in every way. It's difficult. We just don't have a clue. And I don't think anybody does.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe we're getting.
What do you think about people that are trying to hang on what Chris and the other cop he has on his show, which he's going on again tonight, they think that you had this big slip where there's a female abductor. Now they're trying to tie that to being Robin from your church.
I'd say, McDonough and friends, if you guys want to just keep running with lies, Satan's the father of all lies. You want to run with Satan? You're on your own, buddy. I want to stick with God, truth. That's what I want to do. So I'm not scared of any of you. So you just keep going that way if you want to. I pray for you that you turn it around. You need to. Of course, you're just digging yourself in deeper and deeper.
There was no denying it
I don't
though.
know what else to say.
Huh?
There was no denying it though. Like just this long spiel, but no denying. Well, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
He's the master of irony. Saying everyone else is running with the devil. Don, might want to take a look in the mirror there, bud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're the one and the same.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody around him is so bad, though.
I told you, Dawn, good.
Yeah.
Everybody else, bad.
They're making him do it. They are.
That's right. He's the
they're
victim.
lying. Gaslighting.
Yes. Poor Donnie.
The master.
Go ahead.
Okay, what about people thinking that the uploads Candace did on June 15th, they were like photoshopped on the timestamps, and that Summer really went missing on June 14th? Do you remember what y'all were doing June 14th at all? Could you run us through what you remember the day before Summer actually went missing, for those that think that maybe she went missing a day or two before that?
I love when I agree with myself.
No, all I know.
You love when you agree with yourself.
Yeah.
When you look back and agree with yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, damn right, Cher, good job.
I told you have a way with words.
Every once in a while, I stop cringing.
Just every once in a while.
Yeah.
As I was dealing with a mess at work every day, I was fighting with this guy I fired, Mr. D.
No, blah, blah,
fighting with him
blah.
day after day, and it was just You know, when somebody's on,
Mr. D. He makes him sound like like this big villain or something.
He's kingpin.
Yeah.
something, you can't talk to that kind of person. You can't reason with them. You can't, nothing makes sense. You know, so I was dealing with this guy for probably a week. I don't know. But the last 2 days were pretty bad and intense. That's what I was dealing with. And, you know, I've been dealt with many of those in my life, many people on drugs like that, meth and stuff. And you just, like I say, you can't reason with them. There's no reasoning with them, period. So when it come down to telling him he needs to go, I'm not working with him one more minute. You know, he got really upset and he told my boss all kinds of stuff.
Here we go,
Kind of
bringing up
lies. Started with all-
another druggy's got to appear.
Yeah. I think he's talking about Dudley here. I think.
Bedtime stories with Don Wells. They're a druggie here, a druggie everywhere, a druggie.
This house, that house over there.
all that, and I'd say he'd do just about anything to get back at me, whether that be to go to the extent of taking my daughter. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't put it past anybody. I mean, people do that kind of stuff all the time. I don't know.
Really?
So
I
just
just
not possible that it's not possible that she went missing on the 13th or 14th.
No, because you know, we've showed law enforcement our phones. We've showed law enforcement our phones. They know the exact date. I was dealing with stuff prior to that pretty bad, and then, you know, like I said, I fired Mr. D, and then the next day my daughter comes up missing.
Yeah.
And then 2 days. I mean, I don't know. That seems pretty odd in itself.
It's just getting more and more odd all the time. Oh,
Whoa,
one thing I wanted to
rewind
ask you,
that.
I think you've
Yep.
mentioned this.
Rewind that.
And then 2 days. I mean, I don't know. That seems pretty odd in itself.
It's just getting more and more odd all the time.
Is that as far back as you want me to go? Share.
She's muted.
No, you gotta go back a little bit further when where he's talking about whatever the day before. Just go back like a minute or two.
Okay.
Dealing with this guy for probably a week. I don't know. But the last 2 days were pretty bad and intense. That's what I was dealing with. And, you know, I've been dealt with many of those in my life, many people on drugs like that, meth and stuff.
Yeah, right there.
That's
When
right.
he's talking about the week and then the 2 days advance, that's what I'm dealing with. Rewind back again.
You can't talk to that kind of person. You can't reason with them. You can't, nothing makes sense. You know, so I was dealing with this guy for probably a week. I don't know. But the last 2 days were pretty bad and intense. That's what I was dealing with. And, you know, I've been dealt with many of those in my life, many people on drugs like that, meth and stuff. And you just,
That definitely aligns with it being pre-planned.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
you
I was
can't reason with
washing my face. I didn't mean to just holler. Rewind! No, rewind! Sorry.
no reasoning with him, period. So when it come down to telling him he needs to go, I'm not working with him one more minute. You know, he got really upset, and he told my boss all kinds of stuff, all kind of lies. Started with all that, and I'd say he'd do just about anything to get back at me, whether that be to go to the extent of taking my daughter. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't put it past anybody. I mean, people do that kind of stuff all the time. I don't know.
So
I
just
just
not possible that it's not possible that she went missing on the 13th or 14th.
No, because you know, we've showed law enforcement our phones. We've showed law enforcement our phones. They know the exact date. I was dealing with stuff prior to that pretty bad, and then, you know, like I said, I fired Mr. D, and then the next day my daughter comes up missing.
Yeah.
And then 2 days. I mean, I don't know. That seems pretty
Okay,
odd
wait.
in itself.
It's just getting more.
Okay. Mark is getting ready to ask the question about the truck, but his reply was, it couldn't have happened on the 13th or the 14th because they gave law enforcement their phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that was his answer. He didn't say, no, she was home. Summer was
And
with
because
us.
he had something going on. No,
Yeah.
couldn't have, because I was doing something.
Right.
Right, which
What?
Yeah.
he's talking about the CPS case. I mean, that has to be what he's talking about because he
Yeah.
he said CPS was at the house and they closed the case that day and he fired Dudley. So those were the two things that he was quote unquote dealing with. But, that's why she wasn't missing on those days. Oh, okay. Because it didn't plan out on those days. So it worked better on Tuesday. Got it. Okay, here comes the part. Sharon Mark need to listen closely here. Everybody listen closely.
Okay. Are you ready?
Okay, we're ready.
All right. Here it goes.
More and more odd all the time. Oh, one thing I wanted to ask you, I think you've mentioned this, but your work truck, it's 2-wheel drive, right?
Yep. Yeah, 2-wheel drive.
All right, because I got to do a video and talk about why you didn't take your truck down and when you retraced your steps, because a 2-wheel drive half ton, you wouldn't get out of there. You could get down there, but you ain't getting back.
Get down where?
When you retraced your steps and went down to that creek.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The 2-wheel drive the truck would have got down there, right? But drained away, come back up out of there. Plus, it's white and you can see a red car.
Okay, wait, go back.
Mm-hmm.
Play that one more time.
What?
Yeah, and go back 10 seconds and just play that last part right there one more time. Please.
And went down to that creek.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The 2-wheel drive the truck would have got down there, right? But drained away, come back up out of there. Plus, it's white and you can see a red car.
Plus, it's white and you can see a red car.
Yep. That's what he says.
So,
True.
in my opinion, I think that's why he drove the Subaru on Monday, the 14th, because it was supposed to happen on Monday, the 14th, and we know it didn't happen until Tuesday. And he changed it and said that he drove the Subaru on Monday because Dudley had said he had the Subaru on Monday, the day that he got fired. I think it was supposed to happen on Monday, and he drove the Subaru because he thought that Starlink would still be able to be tracked, even if they weren't paying the subscription monthly. He still thought that was going to be one of his 7 alibis.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that part is very important. Why would he point out, plus you can see a red car? We don't need to see the car when you're doing the reenactment. You're showing us where you went. You're inside of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that made absolutely no sense.
Yeah. You don't
And
need to see.
he blew off the 2-wheel drive. I mean, Mark was giving him an out right there. And he was like, yeah, that's it.
If you guys could have seen Mark's face when he just heard that the first round, he was like, he jolted. Like, what the fuck did he say?
See, and I was just saying this earlier, Cher, before you and Mark got on here, that when I went back and listened to this interview, I heard all this the first time when y'all interviewed him. But now all of it's like, what? Did he say that? Really? I mean, it's like we're just hearing it for the first time. It's like so weird.
Yeah.
And I think that when I first heard this interview, the very first time, it stood out to me. And I know it stood out to me when I was to make this video, recording all of the panels for this week's worth of video. This is only 1 week's worth. We're only going through August 15th to the 22nd because it's over 2 hours long. I tried to keep them at 2 hours when I was making these, but that's all I could fit in this 1 week because he was on your panel so much.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, looking back, and I've got to go through, he's on all 3 of our channels. It's crazy. And he's in all over the computer too. I want to plan probably a private chat where we go through some of what I've got here on the computer of calls, because not sure if some of them have even been played yet publicly, and see what we want to do with them and what's the value of them, what's not, so we don't add to the chaos or whatever. So
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that'll be helpful.
Yep.
And Wolfie, I hope law enforcement is listening, but seriously, I've lost hope in law enforcement. In Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, I have lost hope. I think Detective Pruitt is not doing shit. He's sitting on his ass waiting on somebody to call and say, I found Summer, or I know what happened to Summer. I was there, or, so and so told me what they did. He's not doing anything.
Mm-mm.
And TBI, I mean, from what happened with Ziggy not long ago, when she emailed a tip to TBI, Pruitt is the one who called her back. Not somebody from TBI. Pruitt called her back.
what?
Yeah. She emailed
That's weird.
TBI about, her and Fred were talking, and Fred said, how that goes. But she sent it to TBI, and Pruitt is the one who returned her call.
Not very hopeful, is it?
No, at all. The last news interview he did, I lost hope, because he basically said he's sitting there waiting for the phone to ring for him to be able to solve Summer's case.
That's
Yeah.
we need to figure. What does Pruitt do?
Stare at the
What the
phone.
hell? Yeah. I was gonna say between him or Ronnie Lawson also just wants, the answer served on a silver platter, so he can
Right.
just grab his shades and roll out to the cameras and.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
With a shiny head.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that they have the go get 'em attitude like we do. Like they have cases, case after case that they're working on, whatever. And we're focused on Summer Wells, Summer Moon Utah Wells. We're focused on her.
Yep.
And they have a stack of cases, and I think that victims get lost that way.
Right.
And YouTubers calling law enforcement on each other and whatever happened, behind the scenes and all of that. I think that exhausted law enforcement also, to the point where now they're just like, oh, it's another YouTuber,
Yeah, especially in that rural area where they really don't have the manpower. It's just sad.
Yeah. Okay.
And because people keep saying you speak in past tense, they feel like you have given up all hope. So I just want to ask you today, do you still have hope that Summer is alive?
He never had hope.
No.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I hope and pray constantly, day after day, the Lord will have mercy and bring her back. I hope and pray, but when the law enforcement is completely stumped and everybody is stumped and doesn't have a clue where she disappeared to, you do kind of lose hope somewhat, but I still always have hope no matter what. I wished so bad that she could come home. That was my baby right there. And I love her with all my heart.
So right there,
didn't
he
care
knows
ever
he's
what
not coming
anybody
home.
could say.
He's unable to come home.
Yeah.
He said, I wish she could come home.
Yeah. So she's not coming home, and she's unable to come home. That's not good.
Right.
Look.
No.
And he knows she's not able to. So, like when you say, can I, like I remember my grandmother used to correct us all the time. If you would say, can I have a cookie? She would say, I don't know, can you?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you're supposed to say, may I have a cookie?
Right.
Yeah.
And so for him to say, I wish she could come home, not she would come home.
Yep.
And he used past tense right there where he's being called out about using past tense.
Yeah.
And he still did it. And he's got a crappy excuse for that too in here.
Anybody, I mean, sorry, but anybody could say things to her that wouldn't really face her. If I said one little word to her, she would just start crying, and I'd have to apologize.
You notice how he makes it like Summer put him on a pedestal?
Yes.
Like Summer just loved him more than any, like Summer was just in love with him, just,
Yeah, I always said it's weird because it's like, all right, well, you just say, oh, it's daddy's little girl, but it's not even his first daughter. But he
Mm-mm.
acts like the way she loves me is like no other love. Well, what about your wife? Like, excuse me? And you've had a daughter before, so like, does that not make her feel a little weird? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's unhealthy.
Well, just like when he said he tried to protect his heart, tried to guard his heart, but Summer stole his heart. No matter how much
Yeah.
he tried to guard it, he was trying to refer back to a verse, but that
We
wasn't
know,
referring to your own children.
yeah. Yep. He always talks about her like more about young lady, and yeah,
Mhm.
he's no other love like that. And
Yeah.
Candace couldn't had the 18 months, and it's not his fault she didn't take to him. And then you're like, okay, and then you think to what he's confessed to, and you hear all of that kind of verbiage.
Yep.
It's
Victims love their abusers because that's all they know.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's just weird. I'm just like, man, he acts like she was like his hero, her
What?
hero, and we know better.
His child bride.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's gross.
And maybe he didn't feel that way with Margie because he tried to sell Margie to Mary.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mary talked about that they had the papers drawn up and everything, that she and her husband were going to adopt Margie. She couldn't take both of the kids, but she wanted to take at least one of them. And then Don, at the very last minute, when he was supposed to sign the papers, changed his mind. So he was going to sell her.
Wow.
And he tried to sell Lil Donnie for drugs out on the road, allegedly, according to his ex-wife Pam. So
See, I've talked to Margie and Don, his other kids, the older kids, but they'll never really go on record and say anything against them. Like they told me they didn't want me recording them. So
Yeah.
but they
Margie,
told me that Don never laid a hand on them whatsoever. That he wouldn't even spank them even if they should have been spanked. That Don wouldn't have done that. That's what they tried to tell me.
Mhm.
Margie did an interview that I think was recorded with another creator. I don't know if I'm going to look at the channel and see if it's still there or not, but I know that she did do one interview that was discussed on YouTube. One that I'm aware of. And she defended him.
Mhm. Yep. No doubt.
10 times to Summer, I'm sorry, I didn't, she would just, it killed her if I said anything like that.
It killed
So I had to be
her.
really careful with her.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We keep putting you through this, and it's just not right.
It's not right what Chris is doing. I want to ask you quick because can we get into how did Chris come into the picture? How did he get a hold of you guys? How did this all start and Chris get to talking to you guys? Can we kind of go over that? Because I'm curious, how did this all start with him? How did he get a hold of y'all? What happened?
I'm not even sure where he come from or how he ended up in all this. I wouldn't doubt it if he come, it may have started in Utah with my stepsister's lies, my niece's lies and my stepsister. It may have started there. I don't know. But all I know is that people believe some lies, and then there's also, we don't know where he come from. I have no idea.
So he just called you guys one day and said, "Hey, could we sit down and talk?" Or
Yeah, he acted real friendly. He acted real friendly with my wife, and they done that little interview. And I knew, he said a few comments that I didn't like right away, and then I told him to stay away, because of them few comments. And then I told him, I thought, well, maybe I read him wrong. Maybe I was looking wrong a little bit or whatever. So I give him another chance, and that's when I called him on the phone. I didn't know he would set me up, and all that. He's promised that he would help on a summer and all that. And he's just turned the whole investigation into a circus. He don't care about Summer. He don't care about anybody but himself. That's all he cares about. And his money.
All Chris McDonough.
But yeah.
What a terrible person he was.
Yeah.
He just drills on him like a lot of this interview. I mean, I shouldn't be laughing, but I'm just like, man, he just really is trying to paint a picture of Chris Madonna. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wish he'd come back to my house, but we won't talk about that.
Okay.
I don't blame you one bit.
See? Oh, I shouldn't be laughing, but it's just weird.
Let's not go there. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, is there anything else that you would like to say before we end this little chit chat? He's going live later. I don't know what we'll have to figure out what he says there later, but I think that's the biggest things going around now. Oh, actually, I do have one other question. How did y'all end up on the news when we all saw you on the news on June 15th or was it the 16th? How did that come about? Do you know who got the news and media to y'all to begin with?
Well, all we know, is there was 106 agents, and nobody's ever seen such a large gathering of law enforcement in one area at one time.
By the way, that
history
question
was made on this.
was
Of course, the news media.
Go ahead.
I knew about Tim Mullen. I was trying to get Tim Mullen ousted right there. But yeah, Tim, of course, picked, and I think TBI at the beginning also picked, but Tim had a say so too. But this is the moment I was trying to get other people to realize that there's a puppet master behind the scenes, if that makes sense.
With the question you're asking next, or the one you just asked?
This one and a few others, I think, or yeah.
Okay.
Media that they were going to get called and everything, but they were set up at the Solomon's Temple Baptist Church out there, church we used to go to. But they set up temporary satellites and all that. And of course, we wanted to try to help any way we could. So we put every picture we had of her online out there. We shared everything we had with media, with everybody. We've been open and honest from the beginning. I always have been. Opened our home. No search warrants were needed ever. They're welcome to come back. But it does, they ripped our house apart several times. But
did you catch what just happened right there?
I've seen them guys.
Did you catch what he just did right there?
What he said?
Rewind like maybe 20 seconds. You're going to see they came here, no search warrants, no nothing. They can come back here, no. And then he stops himself. He was going to say no search warrants, no nothing, but he stops himself from saying that.
Because he don't want them to actually do that.
Right. So that would have been a statement, and they would have tried to take him up on that. But if you rewind that, you see where he's about to say it, and he stops. He stops because Tim Mullen or Robin is right there shaking their head.
Let's see what he says.
We're set up at the Solomon's Temple Baptist Church out there, church we used to go to. But they set up temporary satellites and all that. And of course, we wanted to try to help any way we could. So we put every picture we had of her online out there. We shared everything we had with media, with everybody. We've been open and honest from the beginning. I always have been. Opened our home. No search warrants were needed ever. They're welcome to come back. But it does, they ripped our house apart several times.
On him and someone told him no right there, and he stumbled off script. And he had to stumble to get back on real quick.
Because he almost gave him free reign.
He almost did.
I've seen them guys limping. And I give them, if people don't think I appreciate, the law enforcement, we really do, because we know they give it their number one best. Had that helicopter flying, I don't know what that cost. At least a week straight, day after day, except for the one day they kept it off there. But I mean, that airplane flying at night with infrared, I can't imagine what the price tag on all that. So I'm very thankful for law enforcement and what they've done. People say we're not, but we are. Okay, all right. I say, one more thing though. If Chris McDonough did start in Utah with Trish's lies and stuff, I think it's possible that would cause, if people actually believe that I was this person that they was making out to be with all these lies that they've been spreading, would that cause somebody to come out here and try to save my daughter from this pretend, this stuff that they've been making up? I think it's
Stuff
very
that they're
possible.
making up. Stuff he's
So
confessed
if somebody has
to.
my daughter because they think I was this kind of
Stuff he's confessed to? Yeah.
Stuff he's confessed to, yeah, and to save his daughter. He's saying that someone needed to be saved from what was going on, but also, yeah, we can't forget stuff he confessed to at
Right.
starting at 5 years old.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
person because of the lies that's been spread that aren't true. I'm a loving father. I would never hurt anybody. That's not me. I try to keep my kids in church and everything so they know what to expect in the future. If you have my kid because of these lies, I think you should come forward and just let it go. I'll do everything I can not to get charges put on you. Just bring
There it is again. He'll do everything he can so charges don't get put on you to somebody that could have taken his child.
And if you have my kid because of these lies,
Right. What lies?
The stepsisters didn't come forward until after they heard Summer was missing.
Yeah.
So what
And
lies?
Lies. He confessed to doing things.
Right.
So what lies?
Right.
Yeah. No idea what he's talking about.
And you girls looking back chat?
Oh, hold on.
It's not super important. It can wait. I found that. But that stood out, if you have my kid because of these lies.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes no sense.
It does not make any sense.
my daughter back, please.
Huh? Did you say something, Cher?
No, sorry, talking to Courtney.
Oh.
I never even thought of that, but that makes more sense than some of the other ridiculous theories that are flying around. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all very much. God bless.
Thank you, Don. I'll be in touch later.
We'll talk to y'all later.
Rest of your day.
You-
Mark
you have to
was
deal with that.
really, I
That's
think
okay. I
so.
appreciate you guys for dealing with it with. All right. God bless y'all. See ya.
Get back to work. Thank you.
God bless you too, Don.
Man, that was a quick interview. I mean, he was just like gone, just like quick, wasn't he?
Yeah. We have him with Sonya on where he slipped a lot. I don't remember which one that was on. We'll have to find that one.
It's coming.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in this video, isn't it, Tammy?
I have not made it to the. Now we've already done one with Sonya's interview.
Oh, that's right. That's the one you guys did last week.
Yeah.
You guys, guess what?
Yeah.
17 days and dreadlocks.
17.
17.
You're not
days.
excited or anything, are you?
Yeah, now I am. Now I am excited.
Now you're getting excited?
Yeah, I was not sure before. I was kind of getting like cold feet because I'm not just getting the extensions. I'm dreading my own hair. So it's a commitment.
Right.
But it's a long time in the works. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And what happens if you don't like it? Like, you got to cut your hair like super short to get them out?
Nope. If I don't like it, I'm gonna deal with them until basically my hair is long enough for like right under the chin. I can rock a really short bob. I'm fine with that. So I'd have to wear them until I at least have enough hair that would be healthy that would go underneath my chin for a bob, and then I can cut them out.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But
You should try
I'm
to
not
find a
cutting them
wig.
out. I'm keeping them in for 19 years.
Oh my.
For
That's a
how
long
long?
time, Cher.
Yeah.
19 years.
Yes.
Why that time frame?
That's my number. I might take them out before then, but I have to absolutely, I made a pact with myself that I have to have them in until I'm 50 or 51. So I have to rock out my 40s with them no matter what.
Oh,
That's
okay.
my deal with myself.
Okay.
All
But
right.
ideally, I would like to have dreadlocks for 19 years to the day and then cut them off.
Oh. Oh, I got blocked on PG because I was asking Marlena questions in this
Oh,
little angel and asking her why she is running because she knows that she's scared about what happened to all of the people that.
Hi, Carolyn. Hi. Oh my, look at Miss Machete.
No.
She's a publishing coordinator now.
Nice.
Miss Jenny, when did that happen?
Yes.
You're not just a star anymore. You're a
That's right.
publishing coordinator?
She gets promoted every week, Mandy.
I mean, that's fancy, okay?
It is. First it was it wasn't Magic Star, it was Sea Star.
No, Magic Star was Star Lambert, and now
That's what it
she's
was.
Magic Star.
Okay.
And Jenny Machete she started out Jenny, and then she
That's
became
right.
Jenny Machete, and then she was just Machete, and now she's a dang publishing coordinator.
Yeah,
Holy
nice.
Machete. Hi,
Yeah,
Tina
you know,
girl.
packets we all get.
Right. Oh, that's what she's publishing coordinator for? I feel left out. Tammy, Cher, are you guys getting packets?
I am not.
I
We're
heard
not
nobody's
allowed
getting packets.
because of this case. She was saying that she has to be moving around all of the time because of this case, and I got blocked. Oh, huh? Are not alive. Oh, all the people that are not alive anymore that on this case. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
he has to be moving around all the time. Oh,
I'm not putting a lot of stock in what Marlena is saying just because I haven't heard with my own ears because I haven't like investigated it, researched it myself yet. But I heard that her first interview compared to what she did last week are not the same. So
yeah,
facts don't change.
mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Page 84. Okay. Page 84, Tammy. We got this.
Okay.
Ready?
She's absolutely singing a new tune. Yes.
Paragraph 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on paragraph 3, right?
Because I listened to the one you are, paragraph 3.
Okay, thank you.
The second paragraph of paragraph 3.
Okay.
I listened to the video you sent me, Cher, and I about was crazy at the end of it.
Mhm.
It's very hard to follow, but I mean, when I say hard to follow, it's not like I didn't understand it. It's just there was a lot going on.
Yes.
Was that the first night she was on there?
What's fun is you'll see you guys a lot of times Mandy or Tammy will be on panel, she'll drop out, she'll be on panel. So like Tammy's been a part of this from day one with this platform.
Yeah.
But now here we are actually covering it. But you had shitty Wi-Fi then or something, or we
Yes,
all
I
did. I
did.
don't know.
Yes, it was crappy. I have said that several times.
So I just want to make it clear because some people are like, "Oh, Tammy just, too late to the game. Cher's too late to the game for Karen." And like all this, all of a sudden, that's like a burn, and it's not. But just make it known that Tammy absolutely has been there for day one. Plus. Okay.
Tammy's a panel hopper.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
like
God.
she's
Yeah,
been hopping panels since mid 2021.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
for
That's
sure,
right.
without a doubt, like she's left a trail. Okay.
Her first panel is MySpace. Okay, no, I'm just
Yeah, right. Yeah, I used to be on Cher's panel. Me and Cher have been together before summer.
before Mark.
Yeah, before Mark. I mean, I was always on Cher's panel, kind of like you see other creators that have that some person that's always there, but they don't have a channel, but they're always there on that person's channel. That was me. I was always there. But my Wi-Fi was crappy. It sucked, but I don't have that anymore. I have actually broadband now. Awesome.
No,
But
I have that now.
the crappy one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I have the crappy Wi-Fi now.
And I was actually going to work on Rose's case when Summer went missing.
That's right. Yep. Then I kept saying, "Can you pull a card? Can you do this?"
Yep, that
Well,
Rose was
and
going to be something we were going to work on, and then Summer went missing.
anybody can see that just by going back, or even if they don't want to go back, they can look at your milestone with Cher's channel of like 4,800 months. Okay. So
Yeah,
that shows that you've been around, you've been here, you know Summer's case just as well as any day oneer
yeah.
because you have been a day oneer.
And
Mhm.
Mandy's definitely been around.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
wasn't a
wouldn't
day
be
oneer, I was a day
streaming
four-er.
without Mandy. Yeah.
Well, I was a day four-er to Summer's case,
day
but yeah, I've
4.
been
Yeah.
around on YouTube for about 8, 9 years now. Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any videos of my own of Summer because I was always on Cher's panel, and she talked me into getting my other channel started. That's the only
And
reason
see,
I have the other one.
oh my goodness, look. Okay, you're clipping these old interviews, but now that you know how to clip stuff, you know how to record things, you
Hmm.
can go back and the panels when you were on panel, you can record some of those live streams like I did on your channel the other night from your live
Right.
stream, and you
Yep.
can record it and you can put it on your own channel too and just put the date on there, like this is an old stream, but look, and share it on your channel.
Sure, if I was talking. I probably am just up there. My picture's just up there. Does Tammy ever talk? Well, yeah.
You don't
But
have to talk, that's okay.
I don't like to be I don't like to have to fight to talk. You know what I mean? I don't like to be talked over. I'm kind of weird like that. So if I get on a panel and everybody's talking, and I just can't get a word in edgewise, I just usually either don't say anything or I leave.
Yeah. I'm like,
I'm
Tammy, you have anything to say? Shut up,
I'm
everybody.
very quiet and reserved.
Yeah,
And see, you'll lose that along the way. Like Cher and I, we don't care. We just butt right in. That's we've learned that over time because when you're on a panel of more than 2 people, sometimes you have to.
yeah,
Yeah. Or because I'll forget what I'm going to say.
Right. That's what I mean. You have to put it in there where it fits. And because the topic changes so much, I mean, we're still talking about Summer's case, but we'll jump from one thing to another in one sentence, So
yeah,
if you have something that you want to say right then, you have to just butt in and say it.
yeah,
Not being rude. I don't take it as rude when I get talked over, Like I
yeah.
don't take it as rude at all.
Let's see where we go. What'd she say? Me neither. My sarcasm led to further confusion.
Well, here in 8 days, you'll get to change it how you want it to be, and everybody will
Because
understand.
your name, it's like 2 weeks. You talking about changing your name on here on
Yeah.
YouTube? Yeah,
Yeah,
it
she
takes like
said she
2 weeks.
changed it. She said, "I forgot to add pamphlet in front of my job title after changing it 3 times. I have 8 days, I think, until I change it.
Yeah,
Anyway, please turn
yeah,
to 84 of your pamphlets."
yeah.
Can
Yeah.
That's
you
why I said
ladies do a late show tomorrow night? A late night show tomorrow night, like around this time, maybe a little bit earlier than this time?
Who, me?
Yeah, both you girls for like an hour, maybe.
I can do, yes. Late is always better for Mandy.
Okay.
Um, and tomorrow night should be better. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning now, and I have a doctor's appointment in the morning.
Yeah.
So, and a drive to get there. So,
So I
but
work, so
tomorrow
I'll
night
get home
I'll be
like at
fine.
10:30 my
Oh,
time, and I'll start right away.
and my son doesn't have school Friday. So, heck yeah, I can do an all-nighter tomorrow night, bitch. What are you talking about?
Oh,
I'm
shit,
there.
yeah. Nice.
Listen,
Okay, tomorrow night
listen,
is on. Because
Party at
we're off Friday on
Cheers.
your
Woo,
channel,
woo.
Mandy, right?
right? Because
Yes.
Tammy can't do it all night. That I cannot, because I do have kids to keep. If you wasn't, I know you wasn't in here, Sharon. Mandy might not have heard them either, but this week is EOC's here, which is end of year testing
Okay.
for our kids, but it's third grade through high school that take it. So the kindergartners, preschoolers, first and second grade, they don't take it. So one of my grandsons is out of school Thursday and Friday of this week,
Mm.
Thursday and Friday of next week. So which he's 13, but and then after that's Easter break, because we don't go to school anymore. We have all these freaking breaks. Teachers.
Yeah, they are. More and more these days.
Well, here it's being in the South. Football is everything. So when our boys go to state, we're out of school. When our boys go to state in baseball, we're out of school. When our girls go to state in baseball or softball or basketball, we're out of school. So if they go to state championship for any sport, we out of school for those days. So yeah, we get lots of school out. So now we just finished spring break, and now we're going to Easter break. It's lovely.
Sorry.
So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to since two people that I probably shouldn't say it out loud.
Tina girl. Sorry, I'm in a cough attack.
What?
Sorry. Poor Rose. I think someone wanted money from her. I think she said no and someone got mad. I don't think money was a thing, but sorry.
I don't
You
either.
all right?
Fortunately, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm eating I made sliders on sweet Hawaiian rolls, but I put mine in the toaster oven and like a crumb came off in my throat just in the worst way.
Oh no.
So I think I'm going to stop here since there's another interviewer coming up on here that I would rather listen to on another night
Me too.
because
Okay.
and it's not I'm trying to be I don't want to be rude, so I won't say it. I just put it in private chat.
I hear you.
But that interview
Oh.
mhm,
Yeah.
interview is
Well, it's not about them. It's not
no,
about
it's
me. It's not about them. It's
right,
it's about the information we're taking. Like we're
right,
getting. Yeah.
right.
Well, that's interesting. Bellanova said that she asked Marlena how Summer felt about her parents, and she said that Summer avoided Dawn. But see, I don't put a lot of stock in what she says, no.
Well, according to Dawn, she worshipped him. So, it can't be, it has to be one or the other.
Right.
It can't be both. So, which one do you believe? I mean, both of the sources are.
I think that Summer did. I don't know that she idolized Dawn as much as he claims,
He makes
but I
it
think
right.
she looked up to him. You know, that was her father. That was the male role model around her. He was always at work, according to him. You know, that's all he did was work all the time. So
Mhm.
when he was home, you know, I'm sure that she did enjoy, this is going to make me sick trying to say this. I'm sure she enjoyed her one-on-one attention from her father.
Yeah. Well, and he probably gave her more attention, I feel like, than Candace did. Because I don't feel like Candace gave her a whole
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But
Yeah.
and he gave her different type of attention
Yeah.
than anyone else did,
Yeah.
Mhm.
in my opinion.
Well, Marlena also said that in one breath, she said that the kids were all over the hill. They didn't watch them. They'd go down the driveway. And then in the next breath, she was like, well, no, Summer wouldn't leave the hill. She stayed right there in the swing. She knew better. Okay, well, which one is it? Did they run amok on the hill or did they not?
Right.
So,
Well, and if we believe Dawn, Summer would only run to the edge of the grass, you know, like halfway down the hill, and then she would stop. She wouldn't go all the way down with her brothers.
right. Yeah. So, I mean,
Okay, I just checked. My son for sure does not have school this Friday, and he
okay.
for sure does not have school 2 Fridays from now, the 25th. So I can party tomorrow night and the 24th.
Hey,
Hey, oh, hey.
tomorrow night and the 24th.
Yep.
So the
Those
10th,
2 nights,
4th, you can party.
and those 2 nights are not school nights.
That's right.
Okay. I just changed it for tomorrow night, 10:30 my time, which I believe is 11:30 your guys' time. But I'll start it as soon as I'm home.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yep.
And it's going to be some Marlena stuff. I would start it while I'm at work and we could do it a little bit earlier, but I have stuff I want to show you and pull up and stuff for it so we can compare then and now and everything. And I have a few notes. So yeah, bring your notebooks and pens for sure. Because she's nonstop 24/7, like I think Mandy just said, talking. So there's a lot of information being filtered out again. So
Yeah. Well,
by another damn druggie. So take it with a grain of salt. Allegedly, in my opinion.
yeah.
Goodness gracious.
I'm gonna put something in back chat just a second.
And Carolyn, that makes sense. You know, that makes sense. If she knows something and she feels like people are passing away around the case that know something,
Be scared, yeah.
then yeah, that makes sense. And that's not a bad question. I don't know why you would be blocked for questioning that.
Yeah, you shouldn't be. Some people are just so touchy and they like to have they're narcissist, and being able to delete someone's comment or whatever, it's really messed up, but they feel powerful. So, you know, it is what it is. But
Mm-hmm.
not every channel rules their street like that.
Right. Yeah. Did y'all check?
Yeah,
That-
I'm
Well,
typing right now.
if he does, he'll probably be done before I even start. Or if he does, then oh well.
Keep reading.
He'll be on for hours for sure before I go on. I'm still gonna go on anyway tomorrow night. Oh, Friday night? Well,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
cares? We're still going on Justin's, or we're all going on Justin's, or what do we? I don't know. Tell me later.
No, we're going on Friday night. We're going to be on my channel.
Yes.
Yes.
And Friday night, my lineup is already prepared. It's already ready. We're going to be doing from October 2020 as close as we can get to June 15th, because that is when they started going to church, to that church. And that is when we have some of those church videos available still, since churches removed the videos, the ones that I could find. And I can't play everyone anyway because we wouldn't have time to do a live stream and play every church video because there were a lot,
Right.
but we're going to play multiple of them that go along with the timeline. So you can kind of see, when they started going to the church, when Summer started appearing on camera, and when Summer started appearing on stage. The one of Robin putting her own daughter down to pick Summer up is going to be included in that timeline. And the look on her daughter's face, man, I can't get that look out of my mind. The way she keeps turning around and looking at Robin and looking at Summer, and Summer starts singing and she turns around and gives her like this evil glare, like, shut up, kid. Like she's just mad that her mom put her down and picked Summer up. So
Yeah.
Something just flashed in my mind, but okay. I have a conspiracy theory. We'll talk a different day about it.
Okay.
Eve, that's what I'm concerned about right now too. It's a lot of, if it's not matching up, and I'm excited that you're going to do that, Cher, because that's what I was just saying. I haven't researched it myself to go back and compare the first interview. I don't even know how many interviews she did in the beginning, but I remember that she did do some, at least one. And if they're not matching up now with what she's saying now, and I know that she went on PG's one night and then came back on the very next night to rebut some stuff that was said and correct some misconceptions. And so, she's doing more talking now than she did back then, if I understand correctly. But
So
she
has
seemed
a
to be.
her dad's house on Ben Hill, but she doesn't live in it. Is that what she's saying?
I don't know.
Can you look at private chat?
Okay.
Bella Nova said that she thinks Marlena seemed to be honest. I mean, it's possible. That's definitely possible. Uh-oh, Cher booted herself. Rookie mistake, Cher. Rookie mistake. I taught you better than that. Come on now.
She's probably eaten and messed up. There she is.
Rookie mistake, darn it.
You did teach me better than that, yes. But the minister's
people
getting
think I
ready for
joke
bed.
when
He's
I
gonna
say
be
that.
up. He's gonna be up early, but I'll hop in chat for a little bit. But yes, so tomorrow night, some Marlena and I got some Jody Sue. So definitely bring a notebook and pen though, because it's been a lot, and so this will just be part one. But we'll talk then. But I'll be in chat. Love you guys. I'm glad you guys are both safe after the nasty weather you guys both went through.
Yes.
It's good to have you back, Mandy. Your voice and face was missed on these streets.
Yes, that's true.
Oh, thank you. It was kind of a nice little social media break though too. So
I bet.
Yeah.
I can't lie about it. I haven't totally hated it,
Yeah.
But I'm glad to be back.
Why do you think she's coming out to talk, Mandy?
Well, I mean, like Eve said, is it for money?
Yeah.
Was her Cash App dropped left and right? Was it prompted to send her money?
They're supposed to drop her Cash App every night now over there.
See, like I just.
She needs money, and so she wants it. That's the way she's thought of getting it.
And people will say things to get money. Like if, like right now, I can drop.
Again, she's she booted herself again.
I can drop Tammy's Cash App in chat right now. And I can say, I will send money if you say something that makes me look good. And I guarantee Tammy's going to say something that's going to make me look good because she wants that Cash App.
Right.
So money talks,
Yep.
you know?
Yep. Yep.
And
But she
I
should
will
have
try.
got herself together and remembered what she said the first time, because now she's contradicted herself.
Yep.
Was Don suggesting family took summer? Well, he sounded like it, but his sisters came forward after Summer was missing. So
Right.
not sure why he made that. I think he's just, for better, as people would say, talking out his, I think he's just throwing accusations out there just to throw stuff out there, just to deflect off of what everybody's thinking.
Yep.
But at least put something out there believable. I mean,
Well, and that's the thing about it, though. When you lie, you think the lie sounds good in your head until it comes out your mouth.
yeah,
And then when it comes out your mouth, then you're like, did that make sense? Maybe I
right.
need to elaborate more. And so
Mhm.
then he talks even more to try to convince you that what he just said was the truth. Yeah.
Marking my spot so I know where we stopped.
Good idea.
Book and my timestamp book so I don't forget. So I think I will end it here. Let's see. Yeah, shares just dropping for tomorrow's panel. Oh, good.
And hang on just a second here. I'm trying to get.
Oh, that's neat. Ghost of Merlina's Past. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good title.
Share what's your Cash App?
Drop it, girl. Drop it like it's hot.
I'm on drop them all. I need Cher's Cash App though. I got it all ready except for hers. What's your handle, girl? What's your handle? Tammy is not monetized.
Nope.
None of us are making a cent over here.
Nope. Only have 318 subscribers. I need 500 subscribers before I can be monetized.
We're gonna get you there. So
Here it
if
is.
you would like to tip your hostess with a mostess, crazy voice, all right, or her sweet, amazing guests.
That's right. The best guest ever.
There's all the Cash Apps and the links. All you have to do is click on it, and it'll take you directly to. Girl, I know. I've gotten 3 my whole time on YouTube. I'm gonna send her $1. Don't tell her.
Put it anonymous.
Right? I don't
At
think you
least
can do that.
At least with Cash App, you get the money. All of it.
Right.
You don't get like 50 cents for your $1.
She heard it. Dang it.
You should have put it in private chat. She wouldn't have seen it.
I don't know if I have $1 to send, to be honest. So I don't know if I can. I don't think you can send 50 cents.
They'd probably laugh at you if you try 50 cents. Are you serious?
Right? What? You can't even send $1? You are broke, girl.
Just for that, I'm gonna send you a nickel.
You know you can get a Cash App loan, right? Okay, you need to take a loan.
Get a Cash App loan to send $20. All right. Well, I will say good night to everyone. You don't have to leave, Mandy. I'm just going to say good night. And I appreciate everyone for being here. Thank you to all my mods. I do appreciate you. Everybody for coming in, even if you were in the bushes and you weren't able to speak. I appreciate you because you might have been laying down, listening to mine and Mandy's and Cher's voice until it was racked with Dawn's. And then you woke up and you remembered where you were at. What's this? Mandy, we got to go do a. Oh, yeah, a PI. That's right. Don't forget. And Mandy just left. Yeah, blame it on your Wi-Fi, Mandy. Go ahead. Go ahead. Blame it. Blame it on the Wi-Fi. I don't believe you. I need Cash Apps to get better Wi-Fi. Right? Hey, I know bad Wi-Fi. I remember it. But don't forget about tomorrow night on Cher's channel. And Friday night on Mandy's. And let's see. Thank you. Where did share drop? Yeah, you laugh too. Spirit Seeker Squad. Love you, sis. Thank you for being here and talking us through your interview with your words of wisdom and your way with words. You did well. You and Mark did very well. So please, everyone, have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful Thursday. Stay warm, safe, dry, cool, wherever you are. And let's see what chapstick. Oh, 404 to me. Appreciate it. See, chapstick, was you in the bushes? You was in the bushes, hanging out in the bushes. See, I shook it and chapstick came. Look at that. Thank you, chapstick, for coming in. I appreciate you. So I appreciate you. So check out all the channels for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, Share. Friday night is Mandy. You never know when we may pop up somewhere else. So have a wonderful night. And I will talk to y'all later. And remember, be kind to everyone, everywhere, and especially be kind to yourself. Good night. Love y'all. And thank you for being here. Bye.